I'm gonna show you how to turn this into this. No! You don't come from the ocean? You are crazy, girl.
Today we're talking about a bunch of things that you might not have known about loofah.
I made about 40 or so.
But I'm not the expert. It's actually my wife, Haley.
It's like I'm eating a giant banana. I'm gonna show you how to process a loofah to get the sponge out of it, no matter what age the loofah is, no matter how ripe it is. Basically, it's 4 things. You need to take the skin off, get the seeds out, wash it, and dry it. And I'll give you some tips to help you do it really well. So if you're choosing which loofahs to use, you want to pick the ones that feel a little bit lighter. So this one is kind of brown and yellow, and you can just pick that, and it feels a little lighter with a little bit of sponge to it. Whereas these green ones over here, they still feel really heavy, but I'm gonna take one of these and I'm gonna process it so you can see that you can use them too. All right. I've even processed the ones that are yellow that haven't even turned green yet, and they still turn out okay using this method.
In theory, you can wait until they're brown, and a lot of people show you how to do that. But here on the East Coast, where it's really wet, often they'll be rotted completely before they're at this stage. So it's really important to show you how to do it just before this.
So I got 2 Luffa plants from my neighbor because he just had extra, and they took over the garden. Over there I have about 70 loofahs that have grown. At first I used them to eat. They're called the silken vegetable, and you can only eat them when they're young because inside, that's how they make the sponge.
Now for a quick botany lesson. Luffa actually refers to 3 different species in the genus Luffa: smooth loofah, angled loofah, and wild loofah. They are Asian plants that are very popular in China, India, and Vietnam. You might have also noticed they look a lot like zucchini, and that's because they're in the same family, the Cucurbitaceae. But when it comes to processing them, it's nothing like the other gourds.
So first you have to take off the skin, and I have tried many different methods that were very tedious and terrible, and it turns out that this one I'm about to show you is the best. You're just gonna take it like this and you whack it. Ready? As you do that, the skin kind of comes off like this, almost like you're peeling an ear of corn. And beware, it's a little bit slimy, which we'll get to in a bit, because that's actually used for many different things. But you can just take it right out here. So easy. So now that the skin is off, you have to remove the seeds. And the best way to do that, again, is to just whack it against something. So just like this, and they just come flying out. I don't know if you can see that. And you don't have to be gentle with it, obviously. And so you can do it on anything, like a nice post or a tree will work just fine. And you can also kind of go like this. It's really, the sap in it is really slimy, but that's okay. But it helps loosen up the seeds, and then you can just do that, and then more of them come out. All right. Now, once most of the seeds are out, you got to deal with the slime. So the sap that's inside, super gooey, interesting fact, can actually be used to stop bleeding in a cut. So you can see pretty clearly that this one is a little more dry than this one. This one was very green when I picked it. So it has a lot more of like the vegetable matter still in there. It's really squishy, and like it almost comes out, it looks almost like soapy, but that's just the sap that's coming out of there. You still, to get rid of the seeds, you still just give it a good whack, do as well as you can. See them flying all over the place. And then you really get it clean on the next step, which is washing it. They're coming along very, very well. You can squish them up, do all this stuff. They're gonna be totally fine. Next, it's time to throw these in some soapy water overnight. And basically, these will just sit in here for a couple of days. They'll kind of get a little bit bleached out, which is nice. They're really nice and clean. And what that's gonna do is make sure that all that slimy sap gets sort of disintegrated. And that's gonna help because a lot of times if you just leave them out, they're just gonna mold. They won't dry out well enough. So after 24, 48 hours of this soaking, you would take it out and dry it in the sun for a few days until it feels pretty dry. And it's gonna look a lot like this. These are nice and dry, and what I like to do is rotate them while they're drying so they don't get wet on one side, my little wine bottle loofahs. These are ready to be put in the oven. They're great.
You were toasting them?
Yeah, so They're perfect.
Whoa, look at that.
Yeah, really dry them out. Yep, when you get them wet, you can squish them down as much as you want to. Use them in the shower. And I like to cut mine in smaller parts. Put a little soap down in there while you're scrubbing it up in the shower.
It feels really good on the skin. It really does.
Yeah, it's
like a baby's bottom.
Can't wait to make these into presents. If you want to get them to be a little bit whiter than this, that's the point where you would bleach them and then dry them again.
All right, before we go, I wanted to show you what it's like to take a dried one of these, peel it, and take out the inside xylem, which is what the sponge actually is. So I had Haley go into the garden here and pick one of the ones that hadn't rotted yet. And as you can see, it comes off extremely easily, which is the recommended way for most people. But again, a lot of these already rotted, and they wouldn't be quite ready for Christmas if we didn't do it the other way.
See what I'm saying? How easy it is when they're dried. You can. It's the same steps. You still have to peel it, wash it, dry it, get the seeds out. It's just a lot easier. Takes less time.
How many did you make total?
I didn't even count. La Luffa! If you end up doing this process and you find out some cool things along the way, please share them in the comments. I'm always looking for new ways to use these and new ways to appreciate how cool they are, because goodness knows there's enough of them.
Hey everybody, 2020 was a difficult year, as I'm sure it was for you. Fun things here on Stone Age Man. We did a few videos. We did the book, which we'll be making videos on coming into 2021. We have 12 videos coming out in 12 weeks. That is what I am spending all of my time doing. A big thanks to my patrons who are helping make that happen. We will see you with more content coming soon. Oh my gosh, it's raining. Cannot afford a new camera setup.
So that's it. We're showing you how to take something that's super green so you can get super clean. Yeah, that's too cheesy. But I like it. Hello, Luffa?